everyone, this is Gwen Clayton coming at you live with the debut of Tuesday Newsday. And I am here to tell you all about what's going on with the world of Rivervine and what it means to you. So why I'm doing this, I am trying to establish myself and my channel, YouTube channel, and all my other social media channels, and let people know exactly what's going on with the Rivervine trilogy and other books. I really appreciate everyone's support. This is something that I'm very passionate about and something that I feel is important for the community. I was at an event last week and a woman was talking to me about my books, and she said, "So do your books have a moral to the story?" It seems like books these days don't have any morals to the story. Well, yes, my books do have morals to their story, and that brings me to the first news item. I am releasing Per, a story of love, lions, and a Hebrew named Daniel. This is a little short story that I wrote, and my daughter illustrated the cover. That's her little lion that she wrote. Or that she drew, excuse me. And this was a gift for my mom, her grandmother. And it's available on Amazon if you'd like to get a copy. It's really short. It's only, I think, 30 pages, something like that. So you can buy it on Amazon. I will include a link down below in the comments so that you can get a copy. It's available in both paperback and Kindle. The paperback version is $7. The Kindle version is $2.99. And speaking of Kindle, the next item is my debut novel from Mata Sellers. Is available as a free Kindle download now until December 14th. So if you're looking for something to read this week, get a copy of Fermata Sellers, and please leave a review when you're done. Reviews are so important for authors. Anytime that we can get our stuff reviewed, that's how the algorithms work. They need to have reviews. So please review, please like this page, please download Fermata Sellers, please get a copy of Per. Oh, Per, I didn't even tell you what this was about. You can tell this is the debut of a new program that I'm launching. So Per is my version of Daniel in the Lion's Den. So I have always loved Bible stories. Bible stories were how I fell in love with storytelling. They were my very first launch into storytelling, and I just loved them. And one of my favorites has always been Daniel in the Lion's Den. So now that I'm an adult, I actually did some research. I researched ancient Babylonia and ancient Persia and a little bit of, and of course, ancient Judaism, to find out what exactly is a kosher diet. The big thing with Daniel was he was stuck in a lion's den overnight and he didn't die. He survived. And the other thing is that Daniel refused to disobey God for anything. He wouldn't even follow the palace diet. He wouldn't eat their rich meats. He wouldn't drink their wine. He just insisted on vegetables and water. And some sources say he just had lentils and water. So I looked into why did Daniel insist on a vegetarian diet, a vegan diet, really. And I looked into why Jews have their kosher requirements, keeping in mind I was raised as a Methodist, so I had no idea. I knew that you couldn't have cheese on your hamburger. I knew nothing else about the kosher diet. So I looked into exactly what it is about the kosher diet, and then I compared that, and this is a Gwen Claytonism, I compared it Two, what exactly does a kosher diet mean from a biological stance? Like what is the benefit of being vegan? And it turns out that vegan diets are brain foods. And if you know the story of Daniel, he was also, when Daniel's big gift was he could interpret people's dreams. So, and he was really good at it, and that is how he survived being in the palace of the Babylonian king, and how he survived being in the palace of the Persian king. He was so good at interpreting dreams. So, in my book, which is fiction, I say that it was this diet that he was on that helped him connect. He could focus. He could tap into that little nook and cranny in the parapsychological realm where he could actually interpret people's dreams, and he was actually very good at it. And that is what helped him survive. And then additionally, the vegan diet, well, I'm not going to give away the spoiler, but there's a reason why he survived the lion's den, and I talk about that in my book. Now, Fermata Sellers was my debut. Oops, I just turned it off. Okay, so Fermata Sellers was my debut novel. It's a little novella. It's a very quick read, easy to read. Well, somewhat easy to read. This is not a cozy mystery. This is not Harry Potter. This is not 50 Shades of Grey. This is very much occult fiction. It's supernatural fiction, paranormal fiction. There is a lot to it that combines politics, because Fermata Cellars is about a haunted winery that is in danger of being condemned by a corrupt city councilman who wants to snag the land and steal it and snake it over to one of his cronies. Turns out one of the cronies is the ghost who haunts Fermata Cellars. Her number one enemy, her antithesis, happens to be the crony, and that is really where the plot starts to twist. So there's that. Plus, Fermata Cellars is written from the point of view of the winery's marketing director. So he was raised as a good Catholic boy. He was a son of a migrant farm worker, so he knows the vineyards very well. And being raised as a Catholic, he had his own worldview related to all of the ghosts and paranormal events that happen as he's growing up. And then he also comes to terms with himself and his own identity and everything needed for who he is, who he loves, and what exactly he believes. So I call it political science fiction. I'm really proud of this book. So the Zinfandel Grimoire is going to be the sequel to Fermata Cellars, and that's going to be written from the ghost point of view. That is really heavy duty into the occult and science and parapsychology, all that good stuff. So I'm really, really proud of the Zinfandel Grimoire. I'm in the process of trying to raise funds to get it edited, to get the cover designed, to buy some Kirkus reviews and Publishers Weekly reviews and all the stuff that I need to produce it. I'm going to be launching a Patreon account in January. I didn't launch it in December because everybody's buying gifts for their families right now. So there's really no point in starting this month. So come January, look for my Patreon account. I'll keep you updated on this channel. So please be sure to give my author page a like, and also follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So last bit of news that I have to share with you is this weekend, my husband Eddie and I ran up to Frankenmuth, Michigan. We were in search of Krampus. Now, Krampus is an old world Bavarian and Austrian character from Christmas folklore. He is the shadow of Saint Nicholas, or Sinterklaas as they call him. And so Sinterklaas rewards all of the good children. Krampus punishes the bad children. And Krampusnacht is December 5th, whereas St. Nicholas Day is December 6th. So they travel together that night, and they work to keep kids on the straight and narrow. So Frankenmuth has their downtown is all designed as a big German old world village, and they have this huge Christmas wonderland called Bronner's. And Bronner's, I wasn't sure if Bronner's was going to have Krampus or not because they're very big on keeping the Christ in Christmas, and I'm totally cool with that. I'm not complaining about that at all, but they didn't have any Krampus. This big, huge Christmas wonderland, no Krampus. And we got there late in the day, and it was cold, and I really didn't feel like going downtown and walking around to see if there were any more Krampuses. I just, maybe there are Krampuses in Frankenmuth, Michigan. I don't know. But we ended up having a very lovely dinner at, I think it's called the Christmas Restaurant. I forgot the name of it, but it was a Christmas themed restaurant, and we slid in right shortly after 4 o'clock. So we were able to get in without a reservation, but the very next couple that came in without a reservation, they got turned away. So thanks very much to the Christmas Inn for serving us. We had a wonderful veal Wiener Schnitzel with some Swabian potatoes, and I had a German cheesecake for dessert, and Eddie got his Black Forest cake, which he enjoyed very much. So it was still it was a very nice trip, and I saw an awful lot of things at Bronner's that I do want. Like when Eddie and I get a house and we have our own Christmas tree or Tannenbaum, whatever you want to call it, they had some nice stuff. And I do have my eye on a few pieces. And I did come home with a little something for someone on our Christmas gift list. So it was nice. So just to let you know, my books, even the book about Daniel and the Lion's Den, it's not light reading. It's not for children. It's very much for adults who are looking for more intellectual substance in their fiction. And I've gone to an awful lot of detail, and I've done an awful lot of research, and I'm very proud with the work that I've done. So please check out my books. Again, my name is Gwen Clayton, and I am an independent author. You guys have a great rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in.